That feeling when the heights are withering. Okay, so last night it finally happened. It's only February, but I already got one of my most anticipated films of the year out of the way, and that was Emerald Fennell's Wuthering Heights. I dressed up. I went out to see the movie, and I'm gonna share some quick thoughts. So, first and foremost, I just want to say that this adaptation of Wuthering Heights is fun. This is the third film adaptation of Wuthering Heights I've seen. I read the book when I was in high school. And I just rewatched the 1939 version with Laurence Olivier and Meryl Oberon in preparation for this, so that way the story could be fresh in my mind. So, one of the first things I want to highlight about this film, what I believe are the strongest elements, are the cinematography, the production design, and the costume design. Oh my God, this film looked absolutely beautiful. I feel like the scope of the film is what is warranted for a new adaptation of Wuthering Heights, a new adaptation of a classic. It is a big, beautiful film. Just looks absolutely spectacular from beginning to end. So one of the things that people have been talking about the most in regards to this film is the adaptation of Emily Bronte's novel. Emerald Fennell does in fact stray far from what Emily Bronte wrote, but I honestly don't think it's so different from any other version of Wuthering Heights that it would warrant being titled something else or being branded as a different story or just a completely different thing altogether. It very much follows the same beats as Wuthering Heights. Are there a lot of changes? Yes. The bones are there. It is very much an adaptation of Wuthering Heights. The changes, I do think some of them work and some of them don't. There are some changes that had me saying, what was the point of that? What is this supposed to represent in the broader story? And what is Emerald Fennell trying to get at with some of these changes? There are some real head scratcher moments in this film where I wasn't sure what Emerald Fennell's intention was. And that said, there are some changes I feel that work as well. For instance, I actually think that condensing the character of Catherine's brother and the father into one character of just Catherine's father worked well. And I'll say it, I love that Catherine and Heathcliff actually get to have a sexual relationship in this film. That is a change. I feel like that's not a spoiler alert, but that is a change that I appreciated, and I honestly felt it true to the story. And the literature girls are gonna come at me for that one, but I thought that worked. Margot Robbie and Jacob Elordi are fantastic in the lead roles of Catherine and Heathcliff. I really like what Emerald Fennell did with the character of Nellie, who's played amazingly by Hong Chow. I thought Alison Oliver was great as Isabella Linton. And I also enjoyed Shazad Latif as Edgar. I thought the score by Anthony B. Willis was sensational. And as for the songs by Charlie XCX, honestly, usually I felt that the appearances of the songs that she wrote for this movie, I felt they did not work. And in fact, there was one that I actively thought cheapened the moment in the film that it appeared. That said, they do use one of the Charlie XCX songs for the opening sequence, and I think it works there. I think the entire opening sequence of this film is just spectacular. I was honestly immediately kind of blown away by Once again, the cinematography, the production design, and the costume design. Also, one costume that I want to shout out is the sex dress, the dress that Catherine wears on her wedding night. That was very slay. Okay, so this version of Wuthering Heights is a Wuthering Heights fan fiction, and I can hold space for that. I don't know why people are suddenly so against adaptations and reimaginings of these stories, because I feel like that's how you bring these stories to new audiences and breathe new life into them and keep the original work alive and keep the older film adaptations of Wuthering Heights alive. I thought this was a really fun movie. It was amazing to look at. It was sexy and it was just above all fun. I had fun in that movie theater. I think this film demands to be seen on the biggest screen possible, and go see it. Tell me what you think. Just looking at the Letterboxd curve, I think I might be like in the minority of people who like loved this movie. I gave it 4 stars on Letterboxd. I don't give a fuck. Come at me. But yeah, Wuthering Heights. Loved it. I can't wait to see it again. It was super fun.